Hello and welcome to JomezPro coverage of the Dynamic Discs Glassblown Open 2019 edition PDGA National Tour Stop 2. Coverage presented by PDGA and Dynamic Disc. BigSexy commentary with you as always.
We do make a pretty cute couple, do we not?
I can't disagree. And look at this guy, Johne McCray with the big beard this season. This is going to show you last season's finishing position at the GBO. AJ Risley shouting out his mom in slow motion. That's sweet. Tied 9th.
That's a great finish. Any national tour top 10 is an impressive finish. He's going to look well to do that again this year.
Yeah, P. McBeth came in 11th last year with a 74% C1X putt. That's a 62nd in the field. Going to want to keep an eye on that this year. And this guy could do no wrong last year. Eagle McMahon, your defending champion, 26 under par, 90% scramble, which to me is really impressive considering most of the mistakes out here are out of bounds, which comes with that automatic penalty. Super difficult to save a par.
You got that right.
Hole 1, par 5, 1,093 feet straight ahead. OB right, OB left, OB golf green. So it gets a little bit skinny at the end. These guys probably have the opportunity to play for Eagle 3 today with the wind being down, but it's kind of one of those holes where it's a tough risk-reward decision because for these guys, this is a pretty easy birdie if they just play smooth golf.
And Emporia, the Glassbone Open, is one of the few spots on tour, maybe the only one that I can think of where you get to pick your walkout song, which is always a really nice thing to do. It's a lot of fun, and it's good for the fans, and sometimes it gets the players a little bit juiced up and sets people up for these big rips off the tee on hole 1.
Paul goes a little left, but he got plenty of distance. The walk-up song thing I really like, but it also really stresses me out.
Oh, yeah, you got to pick the right song.
It takes me forever.
Do you go funny? Do you go sarcastic? Do you go pump up? Do you...
Not easy. Eagle McMahon looks like he's lining up hyzer, and he is. That is huge. Probably 60 feet high over the road.
Just no danger whatsoever.
No danger. There's no tree. Trees don't even grow that tall, so he doesn't have to worry about them. He just goes up and over into the fairway. That's not an aggressive play, but it's just a super smart, long play with his power.
I mean, and it's a hole that can be eagled. We saw a few eagles last year, 2018, and but eagle really just no need.
AJ is wearing the shirt of a man who knows he's playing on a feature card.
Yeah, that is a feature group
That
shirt.
is an absolute first-string shirt.
Without question.
That's a nice shot. Looks like it's in a similar area as McBeth's.
Johnny looking closer and closer to Santa Claus every day, I feel like. That beard is getting wider, longer, more wise.
And he's still just bombing it.
Maybe more jolly than ever.
Maybe. And this is a beautiful throw. He is actually the only one to put some turn on it. Rewarded with a little extra distance as you see him boosting past Eagle McMahon's giant hyzer.
And that's not going to happen very often today.
Eagle going to go forehand.
Perkins and I were playing yesterday, and we were talking about Eagle, and he's just got the stuff. Like,
You guys just realized yesterday?
He's just got the stuff. Like, we're trying to put a word on it. He's just like, it's stuff.
Yeah.
That's the word for it.
I'm almost surprised that it was only yesterday that you guys came to this realization. Because
we knew he had it,
on display.
but we never put it, like, in such a concise word before.
Yeah, he's got at least 10 gallons of the stuff on him at all times. Paul skips up a little left. There is OB there, but he's come up just short of it. That is a scary shot, though. Those kind of two slight misfires, but no actual punishment for Paul yet.
Yeah, the OB is actually a meter off that wall that you see, so it's... This is going to be okay, I think. Oh, now that...
It's not OB, but it's also not okay.
Those bushes actually, not only do they catch a lot of shots, they're really hard to find once they get in there.
Yeah, because your disc will just sit up on top, and even Big Jerm's not tall enough to see it.
I'm not.
Wow. So that was ultra conservative from Johnny. Like, surprisingly, from the biggest drive in the group.
Wait a second. We got a lefty forehand here.
Are you kidding me?
Oh, no. That was looking so good.
Who knew he could do that?
I did.
I didn't. That is incredible.
He does like to throw that lefty shot. I think he is a natural lefty.
Wow.
Look at that, Johnny.
And Johnny, it's a perfect way to play the hole, but also it's funny to go the most aggressive off the tee, only then to back off to a mid-range.
Right.
But he knows what he's doing. He's absolutely parked for birdie.
And AJ's going to have to settle for that for par.
Eagle for eagle. I think we're probably going to see a layup here.
Yeah. not running that. There is not really much of a slope behind the pin. Actually, it's pretty flat, but if you go to the right of the pin, it does slope towards the road, so it's not exactly something you want to get too aggressive with.
And you don't want to mess with getting under those bushes just about 20 feet past the basket.
A birdie is what you're looking for. Second easiest hole in the course. You really feel like you got to start off with a good birdie on this one just to get your round going the right way.
Oh, no.
Oh, goodness. A little bit of nerves.
A little low, yeah. And that park straight across the street, as only Emporia can do it.
Mm-hmm.
It's another disc golf course.
Yep.
This place is really become a special city for the sport that we all love.
Without question. I mean, Emporia is the home of arborvitaes and heavy wind. Mm-hmm. Today, no heavy wind, but still arborvitaes. Mm-hmm. But also the hospitality is unmatched in any other city you'll go to in disc golf in the world. I mean, I'd say number one city per capita of any place I've ever traveled, Emporia, Kansas.
If you're thinking about coming to the GBO, you're not going to be disappointed.
All the shops have signs. They've got baskets in the windows.
Yeah.
I mean, it's on TV. It's on the radio. Everybody knows what's going on. 1,600 players at this event. I mean, it's just hard to even imagine how big this tournament has come in the short 15-year history. I don't know exactly how long it's been going on, but it's incredible.
Hole 2, par 4, 731 feet, OB left and right. Big turnover, forehand or roller off the tee. You need something that's going to finish right for you. Go uphill past that tree that's in the middle. Looks like Paul's going to show us the big turnover, as he often does. It's actually a little low.
Mm-hmm. A little low, a little conservative, but in the middle. And Paul's forehand could conservatively get him at least 40 to 50 feet past that, but that was a bit of a misfire. Eagle's got that super easy release hyzer that's just such an unfair weapon.
Coming from one of the better forehand throwers ever.
I don't have it like that. I mean, that's that stuff we're talking about. That's 40 feet past where I think I can get a conservative hyzer.
Mm-hmm.
And that's in great position for the birdie.
Johnny flips it. Is it going to fade? No, it's perfect.
That looks ideal.
That is going way up the fairway.
2 for 2. Johnny.
He's loving
crushing
that.
eagle.
He's loving that.
Mm-hmm. More than twice his age.
I would love...
Like 2.5 times.
I mean, I'm not even sure I can throw as far as Johnny today, but I'm just going to say when I'm his age, I mean, maybe I find a little extra, 8 ounces of the stuff lying around the back of the fridge or something and, guzzle that down. If I could throw anywhere near Johnny when I'm his age, oh my gosh, the guy is an absolute freak.
Number one committer to a shot in disc golf history. I feel like that guy puts everything into every throw. And I love it.
McBeth with the hyzer play here. He's going to look to do a little bit of a skip. And he really didn't get... Oh, no, he did. Oh. It disappeared for a second, but there it is. Beautiful shot.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Misfire off the tee, out of position and distance, and just makes up for it with a perfect approach.
And this is feeling pretty easy for Eags.
He's laying off. And this approach is so difficult. None of these drives are far enough up the hill to see the basket, even the band. You can see the flag, but you cannot see the band, and not being able to see that band throws off that approach and distance control so much. And, we've got 3 shots in the circle, and we haven't even got to the furthest drive yet.
Going with a little putter turnover here. Wow, what a clinic.
Yeah, 4 drives in the circle. This is the 5th hardest hole. I mean...
You wouldn't know it.
No, it doesn't look like it that way. And Johnny's furthest out at 16 feet.
Great birdie.
And look at the commitment to his putt. You'll see him do that so much where that back foot kicks up almost above his head. Mm-hmm. And his arm really rips up. I mean, it's not ideal form. I wouldn't teach that, but he makes it work.
McBeth in for birdie.
Are we looking at a star frame on this hole? That's so impressive.
AJ, I'm sure, will collect himself after that first miscue. And there he is.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
That'll make up for that first hole. Back to even par.
I don't even think about going sidearm in this hole because it's so far in 2 shots. And Eagle was laying off both of those throws. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's to put it in perspective of how far he's evolved that sidearm. It's really something to watch.
Hole 3, par 3, 489 downhill through a gap with OB all around the basket. This is a bonus birdie if I've ever seen one. Mm-hmm. You're going to see up the middle backhands, and I think you might even see a monster forehand from Eagle around the outside. I'm not exactly sure what his play is here. There's also a backhand hyzer, but it's so pretty
tight.
Scary. We'll see if that's what Paul's going to do.
It looks like that's what he's lining up.
Yep.
And that's the low line. I thought he might go for the higher pinch, but that's the widest gap.
This needs skip in a big way.
Oh, roll two. No, and that's going to be out of bounds so early.
Way back by the tee pad.
Mm-hmm.
Bogey at best.
That's why that height is kind of important, because then you can get that late. And it's super wide. Come on, man. Long?
Wow.
Long? No.
It's a yes. It's a big yes.
No,
well
man.
done. That is a huge shot. Let me reiterate. 489. 480.
Yeah, it's going downhill, I guess, but like, he's got twigs. I mean, his arms are like
he's thickening up.
I know I heard that he's like trying to lift some weights.
He is. He's not that skinny little bird anymore.
They're still twigs, man. They're still bird arms.
He's a muscular bird. And there goes AJ with that same shot McBeth went for, but you see this much more height. I would hope that this is going to have a little bit more travel, but no.
Come on.
He hangs it wide as well. And that's why that gap is so tough.
Yeah.
So this is where these guys are left.
And McBeth has got easily the forehand distance, and I've seen him go forehand on this hole in the past and get there. So without any wind to speak of, I'm surprised that wasn't the play he went with. But and this is a scary shot because the fairway or the green leads away from the basket. That's a nice shot.
Well done.
Yeah, to get inside the circle from there is pretty impressive, but that's going to be a tough putt for bogey.
See Johnny lay this up. Nicely done. Shout out to Calvin Heimberg, who in my card went with a champion eagle straight up the middle to 3 feet. It was a beautiful shot.
And here's Eagle's 530-foot sidearm comeback putt, which are words I never thought I would say, but
Bang, what a putt. Oh, yeah, a little fist pump. You know he's coming in here. You know, you're defending champion. You're one of the hottest players in the world. He wants this one bad, and he's coming out of the gates like he means it.
Yeah.
Great to see.
Birdie, birdie, birdie start. AJ off left, going to settle for a double. Bogey, birdie, double for AJ, not the start that he was looking for.
Paul to save bogey.
Minimizing his mistake to only one drop shot off par. Something you can live with on a hole that's only 9% of the field birdied, so you're not losing a ton. Really, the main thing here at the Country Club is avoiding those catastrophic double, triple bogeys. I mean, and they can get worse too. There's so much out of bounds. Every hole out here has it. So, and when the wind picks up, it's all about getting as many pars as you can and just getting those birdies when you can capitalize.
Hole 4 is a par 3 coming in at 423 feet. OB cart path on the left, OB fairway on the right. This is going to be a big hyzer for all of our players. Probably a high-speed driver. Swing it high and wide. Make sure you finish with hyzer, though, because that OB on the right is waiting for you if you straighten up and play a little too safe. Conversely, ace run, and you're looking at going over the path. He might not even need a distance driver. He certainly doesn't need a distance driver. He might even elect to throw a fairway driver here.
Well, the good thing about the distance driver is that, and then that was a distance driver, is that it has that sharp angle, which when you come in with that spike hyzer, it's less likely to get that skip as long as you get the right angle down. Kind of surprised in calm conditions that this was only the 5th easiest hole, averaging just under par at 2.96. Something that at this distance with this field, this is kind of like throwing lawn darts.
Yeah, that's my group's fault. We went 3 over. Sorry, no problem. And here is Paul. Great hyzer angle there. See if this will get any skip. Not as much as you might have liked.
Inside the circle, though. AJ, that is a bit tight. That needs to get down quick and catch a lot of angle so it doesn't skip. But that's... Yep.
Out of bounds, edge of circle putt to save his par.
AJ needs to right this ship now before it gets out of control. Yeah.
Just outside the circle, just low.
You can't beat that, really. I mean,
all birdies.
You can't beat that, really.
Yeah.
There weren't any eagles on hole 1, so, and there haven't been any eagles on any of these holes, so you can't beat what he's done so far.
Paul for birdie. Nicely done.
And on this hot stretch that McBeth's been on over the last month and a half, his putter has been just flaming hot. The Luna, which means moon, they should have just renamed it the sun. It's just burning.
Johnny off the band there.
Shortest putt. Unfortunate.
Here's a tough one. Hole 5, par 4, 666 feet, kind of down over this valley and then going back up. But as you can see, the OB really gets skinny. You got the fairway and the cart path to worry about, and a lot of really big trees that make this approach really technical. Hard to choose whether you should go low forehand, big wide hyzer, just need something that's going to slow down and stop on this little strip of land. This is going to be a crush. Just a little slow walk up.
And that hyzer play, I guess he's trying to go to the right side. I figured he would try to go to the left, or just to the left of the cart path. But this brings in the backhand hyzer second shot.
And that's way up there.
But he's not too close to the trees. The closer you get to those trees, unless you've penetrated deep into them, it actually becomes quite difficult. McBeth going for the low line, going for the big shot to get up into the trees. And that should be okay. It just gets a little bit more technical. If you're like right up on those trees, the backhand hyzer's not really open. The hyzer sidearm's not really open. You got to go through the middle.
You definitely like to either be right or left here. Middle of the fairway is not a nice place to be.
It's just a low ceiling and a lot of trees to deal with. And it's not technical based on like East Coast or West Coast standards, but for Midwest standards, that's a pretty technical approach.
Yeah. AJ hanging it out wide. This is pretty nice, but I think this is getting into that middle of the fairway area where this is going to be a bit of a tricky shot, perhaps.
But 4 safe drives off the tee, which is always a nice bonus. And Eagle intentionally leaving that a little bit short to give himself that open approach, and that needs to get down. That's out of bounds left. First mistake we've seen.
Should be a pretty routine par putt, but still, would love to have that one back. And AJ's got to go between the trees.
Low ceiling was a nice overstable approach.
That is fantastic.
Yeah, that's the way to right the ship. Nice shot from AJ.
Johnny with kind of a similar look. Low, overstable. Is this too wide? No.
Not at all. Yeah.
Well, yikes.
A little pro backspin is not what you want right now.
And P. McBee. Little swoopy hyzer.
4 backhand hyzer approaches, and it suits the green nice. You have a little bit of a left to right slope on the green, which is a nice and collecting angle for these backhands.
Eagle for par. And the rest of our players looking at pretty easy birdies. That is a fantastically played hole for what I'm sure is one of the more difficult holes on the course.
Well, it's right there in the middle.
Okay.
It's the 9th hardest, averaging right at par, 4.001. So it's
maybe once the wind picks up, it'll show a little more teeth, because this skinny green is tough once it gets a little windy.
Yeah, and like I said, I played with Nate Perkins yesterday, and we're walking down the fairway, and he played it great, and he was talking about how easy the hole was, and I'm like, don't get ahead of yourself here, buddy. Like this is a hole that really can show its teeth. Like it is a difficult hole. The tee shot is so important to place it in the right spot so you have an approach. If you don't have an approach, I mean, there's so many things that can happen. You don't have much. So.
Hole 6, par 3, 343 going uphill. OB on that right side, and also kind of a newer addition, OB in that back left, so ace runs are really in danger.
Yeah, it comes inside the circle. It's like 28 feet away from the pin, I think.
There's not really any OB directly right of the pin. Like, it'll be short right. But if you get as far as the pin, you're all right. We're going to see big hyzers from our whole group here. Paul swings one out. This has a nice angle. Shouldn't have a whole lot of skip.
Yeah, that's how you draw it up.
Perfect.
It's a Z Predator from Paul. He's really been liking that disc for that type of high angle, overstable fairway.
Johnny with a similar looking shot. A little better. Ooh. FollowFlight time.
FollowFlight on the easiest hole of the day.
A little bounce, little curl. I don't think he's missing that putt.
There were more birdies than pars, which is unusual to see on tour. 51% of the field able to collect a 2 during round 1 in the low wind. And AJ with a nice shot inside the circle. Can you even throw slow enough to not go out of bounds along the eagle? That's the question.
Just inside the circle.
It's got to be an interesting dilemma to deal with.
Yeah.
I think he just took his most overstable disc and threw it as soft as he could, and it's just like pin high.
Oh, man, and he went a little powerful with the putt as well. And then he had to chase some flies away.
AJ.
And that's got some difficulty left. That took a pretty big skip off the rim.
These baskets do that. The cages have that nub to prevent that, but the tops of these baskets are flat. Oh, no.
AJ with a putting meltdown right here.
Yeah, the roller coaster continues. No pars through 5 or through 6 holes now. And you got to imagine the nerves are high for AJ. A great finish in 2018, playing Dynamic Discs premier event on the feature group with the defending champion and the hottest player on tour right now. I mean, there's a lot of things going on. You got the gallery, and I'm sure his expectations for himself are high. And once you get off to a bad start, it's hard to settle yourself down, take a deep breath, go through your routine, and AJ's a great player, so we know we're going to see some great shots from him for the rest of this round.
Yeah, it's still early. He's got time to collect himself, but he is in a deep hole right now, with respect to his group mates and the field in general.
Yeah.
Hole 7, par 4, new tee pad. So you have to go through a little tunnel now, low ceiling, 669 feet down to the bottom of the valley and then back up underneath these trees. The big change, though, just you have to throw that low ceiling technical shot where this used to just be a wide open crush. That has to have made this hole considerably harder than it used to be.
I love the change. I mean, look at this gap here. Where can you find this type of stuff on a golf course? They really wanted to bring some technicality in their course, and Paul just didn't even want to deal with the shot down the middle. Wants to go out left. That's got to hang on.
Oh, my gosh.
I don't think so.
That is a surprising place to land. I haven't seen really anybody test that left side.
And that just might be the most comfortable shot angle for him to get through that gap. You have to really throw low, and you don't want to challenge those trees like Johnny has. He's in bounds, but birdie's out of the question now.
Yeah, a gap like this made even more intimidating by the fact that if you do hit the first tree and you don't clear that path, you're OB.
I am color me shocked that no one has gone the hyzer route that we discovered. You and I discovered in practice round.
It's pretty.
Actually, Thomas Gilbert showed us.
It's pretty scary, but maybe this. No, I still don't know if he's lining it up.
No, 4 shots down the middle, which is great. I think the hole should have a mandatory on that right side tree to keep the players going down the middle. As AJ just laces it down the middle, as we said.
Ideal.
We know we're going to see great shots from him, and that was just picture perfect.
Johnny is way back here. He's got an opportunity to really rip though, and wow, this is good angle.
He's still way out of position. That's crushed.
That was a 500-foot shot, at least, and he's got a putt for birdie.
Yeah, he's got the P McBeth putt for last year when he two'd it.
Wow,
maybe even a little bit closer.
There's a kind of offensive trees here. Just got to make sure you miss some. And no, that's taking a pretty bad kick. Circle 2 putt upcoming for par. AJ making this look so easy. Kind of drifting on him, actually.
Oh, great tree.
Good tree.
There's a backboard there.
And Eagle going to try to
get
skip
over
it through.
I mean, it's not that long of a shot, but it's hard for me to get over how soft he looks like he's throwing, considering that was always like my MO. You know, like, this isn't about mouth.
Wow.
Whatever. Let's get back to these guys.
What a putt.
First SloMez of the round.
To save the par, probably 45 feet at least.
And you know what? Paul has that shot too. That slow sidearm. He approached me one time and he said, "Oh, wait, hold on. Let's get back to these guys again." Sorry.
John E. This is for birdie.
What?
Unbelievable.
No way.
Unbelievable birdie. From that location, that is an amazing up and down.
Oh my gosh.
At least 550 feet from the pin.
That is a birdie you're not going to see anyone else pick up. That's so impressive. These guys are just birding the hole like crazy. Well, I guess Paul's was for par, but
still,
jeez, man, that's so cool to see that. I didn't think Johnny had a chance of saving the birdie.
Neither did I. And AJ needs to get this putter moving straight. There we go.
There we go. Nice play from the card. This hole is so much better now with this change. I really like it. The card able to capitalize, pick up 3 birdies in the par.
Hole 8 is another change, our second par 5 of the round, 990 feet. It's 2 holes kind of combined from the old layout, if you're familiar with that. Drive is a big hyzer for most players, maybe a forehand if your name's Big Jerm, and pretty much literally no one else. You're going to try to hit the middle of the fairway, stay in bounds, though it is pretty skippy, and then you play kind of a position shot and then go up to the basket. There's a shorter basket there for the women in the field. Johnny's going to show us this wide hyzer.
Gosh, and with this right to left sloping fairway,
this is in danger, I think.
Oh yeah, if this doesn't go out of bounds, I think he can find himself.
Wow, nice slowdown.
It's so far that the fairway is actually a little bit flatter over there, but if that comes up any shorter, that fairway is very fast and very slopey to the out of bounds.
Nothing but a little half-speed swing for Eagle. He's not going for any distance here. Just happy to be inbounds.
Yeah.
That's a smart play, really. It's not like you're going to make 3. He's just going to play for the center and then just figure out how to get a birdie from there.
The second shot becomes so difficult once you have to clear over that hill. That getting big distance is rewarded here, but AJ is definitely drifting towards that out-of-bounds line that Johnny just got safe.
This is way out of bounds.
Yeah. But to trust it out of bounds right the whole way to fade back in is scary too, because if you don't come back in, you're out of bounds incredibly early and you're looking at bogey at worst almost.
Yeah, at best.
That's what I meant.
Bogey at worst is actually a pretty good place to be.
Yeah, sure. I've never been at bogey at worst situation.
There's really nothing that could go wrong. I mean, bogey's the worst that could happen. Paul goes with a spiky shot, playing pretty conservative there as well. He and Eagle both very comfortable with their ability to get up this fairway on the second shot.
Eagle plays this perfect. You really have to swing this out super wide left and trust it. Once it gets over that hill, it does move further right than you expect. And the out-of-bounds sidewalk pinches in pretty far, and you just can't see. So you really have to trust where your initial starting spot is. And
ooh, nice friendly roll for Paulie Boy, moving up the fairway.
How do you do that? Teach me that one. Great shot to be at that tree in 2. That's only 250 feet from the pin.
Yeah, it's a pretty wide open shot from there. And AJ kind of ripped this over. Let's hope it's overstable.
And the ceiling was low enough.
Yeah.
Wow. Fantastic shot from AJ to put himself back in par contention.
Likely par.
I
think it's puttery enough.
Is it puttery enough?
I was wrong.
Well, were you?
Oh, we haven't seen a graphic.
Oh, there's see the little water ripples.
Well, could
Unless
have been
there was a
water snake
or a mallard duck
or a muskrat. Eagle with the forehand up over the top. Actually, pretty short.
Why did you say it like that?
To get you to do that, man.
Oh, successfully done.
Paul with a nice play with the mid-range right to the pin.
The easiest birdie of all time.
And I guess he must have been inbounds. We'll see when the score ticker comes up.
Mm-hmm.
It's either birdie or a par.
I think it's a par. We saw that muskrat. AJ looks like he'll be able to pick up his par.
I'm really surprised, with that conservative play that he ended up this short, just trying to go over the top. I'm guessing that's pretty frustrating to him because this is not a hole where Eagle McMahon makes par.
No, it's not. Well, it will be. If he makes that putt.
It will be today. But in really any wind conditions, you're expecting him to come through with birdie.
Yeah, no doubt. And not necessarily the easiest birdie or par putt. If your name isn't Eagle, but fortunately for Eagle, his name is Eagle.
Yeah, it's on the birth certificate. That's no nickname.
And pretty good start here through 8 holes for us for this field. Look at these numbers.
A lot of people at -7 through 8.
I mean, the course is attackable, but we're not talking about a bunch of holes that are averaging below par. Only a few holes have even come close to that so far. So this is an awesome start from the field.
Okay, hole 9, brand new look here. Tee-pad moved over. All of this woods is OB. The right side's OB, the left side's OB. All OB goes directly to a drop zone that is nearly an impossible save.
Yeah.
Then you've got OB fairway long. You've got OB wrapping the basket up here. This hole is so difficult and so touchy. I think a backhand mid-range is probably the ideal play.
Yeah.
If you can put a little power behind it and get a little turn, I'm sure Johnny will show us exactly that.
And this needs to
is
get down.
a little scary, actually.
It needs to get down quick.
I think he's good.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
that's really great.
He's
over on the
putter?
far side. It might have been. He's over on that left side, which is going to open him up for that turnover play that he's going to want to go with.
McBeth is lining up a buzz. I believe that is his
And
TI buzz.
This is just right. If it doesn't turn too much.
Mm.
Almost did. It might have.
That out of bounds is off the pipeline by about 15 feet. So in the future, I would actually like to see him make that pipeline out of bounds just because there's such little space.
Oh, no. Eagle.
No, this doesn't have a chance unless it hits a tree. And it does, but still kicks him out of bounds short.
Yeah.
That drop zone isn't a bogey at best place, too. You really can't get too aggressive.
Yeah.
It's not even really an option. AJ.
That's perfect.
Best shot of the group.
Slide
no
off
question.
of there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm loving it.
But these are not quite far enough to really be in that great position to get to the green. There is out of bounds within 15 feet right of the pin. So
can Eagle really do that from there? To the pin? Not quite, but holy cow. That's huge.
That is so aggressive. There's actually out of bounds long on this hole too. To trust that pinch over to the right is just such trust in his forehand, which he's just developing.
This is a beautiful turnover from AJ. Little bit wide, actually, as you see the eastern redbud flowering ablaze in the background.
Beautiful, man. Beautiful words, dude.
And that looks like it's stayed in bounds.
And a recipient for AJ for the top 5 scariest putts of all time coming up, probably. And Paul, so out of position, the best he could do was really just pitch to the corner and pitch up to the pin and take your par and be happy about it. But
he's got to be happy just to be in bounds. I mean, that got away from him a little bit. I thought it was perfect out of his hand, but the thing just kept turning.
Yep.
And is AJ going for this?
Yeah,
he is.
Oh, no. He's safe.
Jonathan looked like he might have made a little safe sign. That's fortunate.
Eagle, can he maybe put my words in my mouth 2 holes in a row? Or 2 saves in a row?
That would be a crazy save. Johnny, birdie putt, 40 feet. Oh, don't roll. Good.
It's rolling. What do you mean good?
Rolling in a friendly way.
Okay.
Don't roll OB is what I should have said.
Don't roll. It's rolling. Okay, good.
Okay, finally. I'm glad it sat down. I was worried it was going to shoot OB for me. You didn't deserve that.
call.
Whoa.
Not going to get the par. That's a frustrating bogey right there. And AJ is going to move up for his par attempt. We're not going to see any birdies in this hole, which is not a surprise. I thought this hole was going to average in the 5s. It actually came in at 4.77. Only the second hardest hole in the course, was really surprised me. I thought this thing was hands down easily going to be the hardest hole.
Just wait till the wind.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
I think it's a rare score what Paul did, a bogey without OB.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you're going to see that much.
No, I mean, it's just you can't really get too aggressive if you're not in position, and Paul was never in position. Anyways, Johne McCray, what an incredible front nine.
Yeah,
6 down,
absolutely.
Just piecing together is such a solid round so far. Some great putts, some great throws, and
this is a nice look at AJ's birdie bid there on the 9th. Thank you guys for tuning in. As always, we will be right back. We're going to record that back 9 ASAP, and we will see you there.